Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I apologize, gentlemen, for being late. I was in another committee. Dr. Hall, let me preface my remarks by saying I'm a big fan of your agency. I've followed you through the years, and I know you and your colleagues are in good faith, and none of us are clairvoyant. Have you ever? Let me get more specific. How, looking back to when we passed the Affordable Care Act, Congress did, how much did CBO predict it would cost? And now with, what, 7 years worth of experience, how much has it cost?
Yeah, you know, I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but I will say we've tried very hard to keep up with the actual data once it came in. You can remember it a few years ago.
But ballpark, how close were you?
On the spending, I don't think we were too far off on the spending side of things. And I think we were pretty close on the number of uninsured as well. The part that we struggled most with was with something like the number of people in exchanges versus number of people in Medicaid. That shifting between those two groups turned out to be difficult. Not as many people did the exchanges, more people did Medicaid.
Do you recall, did you make a prediction or an estimate, not a prediction, I guess is the wrong term. Did you make an estimate at the time about the cost and the number of people that would join Medicaid?
Yes, we did, but I'm sorry, I don't have it in my
sure.
memory.
Do you know how close you turned out to be?
I don't offhand.
Have you gone back and looked?
Yeah, we have gone back and looked, and we've done some work on that. I'd be happy to follow up.
Could you give me that information for Medicaid and for your estimates on the Affordable Care Act, and now that we have, what, 7 years worth of experience, the reality?
Okay. Yeah, let me just say we'll do what we can. It's a little difficult because so many other things change at the same time. It's hard to know, but we'll tell you what we know. We'll tell you what we know about how well we did on the.
Well, what I'm looking for is something pretty simple.
Okay.
Here's what we said would happen. Mm-hmm. Here's what happened.
Okay, we can do that.
Okay. When President Bush passed his prescription drug plan, did CBO do an estimate of the cost then?
Yes.
Okay. Were you, now we have a lot of experience with the prescription drug plan.
Right.
What did you estimate it would cost, and what has it cost? Do you have that data?
Yeah, I don't know right off the top of my head. I'm happy to follow up, though. I'm sorry I don't have those numbers.
It's okay. It's all right. Do you customarily, as a practice at CBO, continually look back and say, okay, we predicted this, it turned out this is what we got right, this is what we got wrong, here's how we can learn from this and do better in the future?
Yeah, and yes, once a year we go through all the accounts and see how the cost of programs and how many people are taking up, and we adjust that on our baseline. So once a year we actually adjust all those numbers. We don't do a full analysis of individual pieces of legislation because it's so hard. But one of the things that we're actually doing right now, every year we've been looking back at all our economic forecasts and looking at our record. How did we do compared to other people on our economic forecast? And a little over a year ago, we did that with revenues. And right now, we're looking at expenditures. How have we done in forecasting spending and compared to our the actual outcomes? So we're going to have a big picture view of that actually sometime this year, I think. That'll give you a big picture about how well we do. And it's exactly for the reason that you're talking about. We want to try to be better at what we do.
Okay. Well, don't misunderstand my questions. I'm a big fan. I realize that when you give folks a number they like, you're the best thing there is, and when you give them a number they don't like, you don't know what you're doing. And I understand that. That's human nature. But I do think it is a good idea to look back and say, okay, this is where we were then, and this is where we are now. And if you could get it for me for the prescription drug program, for the Medicaid expansion, and for the Affordable Care Act in general. I don't really have any questions of the general. I wanted to thank him for his good work. I'm a big fan. I had my staff do a little research. You have a return on investment of $112 return for every $1 in taxpayer money you spend. I'll take a dozen of those. That's pretty extraordinary. I really want to thank you for the hard work you've done in so many areas, but particularly improper payments. And I just wanted to, I'm fully supportive of your efforts. I know you're not the most popular person in America at times too, but you have to have folks, the metrics are important. The focus in government today is too much on how much money we're spending as opposed to what are the metrics, what are we getting for the money. Anyway, I probably went over. I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, but thank you both for your service.
Thank you very much, Senator Kennedy.